is the 44-yard line of Purdue. ESPN First and 10 presented by AMD Athlon Processor. Ron Franklin, Mike Gottfried, Adrian Karsten. Happy New Year to you. Coming to you from Tampa, Florida for the Outback Bowl 2000. Georgia trying to get the offense going. Quincy Carter sets deep in the pocket, throws back here, and it's intercepted by Hawthorne. No, spotted out of bounds.
Ron, they tried to go to Randy McMichael, the tight end. Hawthorne was right on him like a glove and had a chance for the interception.
I think if he had caught it cleanly, he was in bounds, but he juggled it, and that's when he went out of bounds.
Trying to go to the backside, just a tight end backside working against Hawthorne.
Good call, the official right there. See, if he catches it clean right there, he's well in bounds, but he's juggling. Didn't get possession until he stepped on the line. Good call. Third down, Georgia. Here's a blitz. Quincy gets away, now throws it long and has it complete. Across midfield, down at the 39 to Terrence Edwards. 21 yards.
And that's what Quincy Carter brings with him to the quarterback position, the scrambling ability. Joe Odom, the linebacker, tried to get to Quincy Carter. He faked him out, moves to the right side now and finds Terrence Edwards down the football field. He had two receivers, Michael Greer and Terrence Edwards, in the same position.
In fact, I thought Greer was going to mess him up.
Yeah. Big play by Quincy Carter.
Edwards, 3 catches, 33 yards. Carter, mix-up. Going to be dropped for the loss. Way back at the 46. Second time they've gotten to him. Mitrione is there. Looked as though, was he going to fake that handoff, Mike, or what?
I don't know, bust from the start. Can't have those plays. That looked like one you drop in the dirt. Playground.
And the wind blew it away before everybody saw it.
Jim Donnan trying to find a way to get his team back in this football game. Get them in mentally. They need a big play. Keep saying that on defense. They need a turnover. They need a score.
Caught it out of bounds. That was Johnson, the tight end. Let's check in again with Adrian.
Terrence Edwards, Ron, seems to be kind of the forgotten man in this Georgia offense. You remember when we were down in South Carolina the second week of the season, he was really the go-to guy. But, you know, Quincy has been guilty, very honestly, as Jim Johnson says, of trying to do too much by himself and has kind of forgotten Terrence. Watch him very closely. He doesn't even look at Terrence most of the time, Ron, and that's why Jim is yelling his offense, and honestly starting to sound like I am, for crying out loud, getting so darn hoarse, because he thinks his offense is taking one play on, one play off. Whether it's paying attention to Terrence Edwards or not, they just don't have the concentration they need.
Okay, points well taken. Nice voice, Adrian. Here's the draw. Going to be the first positive yardage for Quincy today. Beasley makes the tackle. Not going to have the first down, though. Do you go for it here, Mike? Good for 13 yards.
Got to. Adrian shouldn't have partied last night. Should have gone to bed. Terrence Edwards, talk about Terrence Edwards. He had a turf toe in the Tech game. You know, and that injury is hard to come back, so he missed a lot of practice. 53 catches going into this ball game.
Now the Purdue sideline trying to get the defense going. Situation, 4th down, and the line to make is the 29. Quincy Carter will go from the shotgun. Here he comes with the option play, and he is not going to be close. Knocked out of bounds, short, well short of the 30-yard line.
Ronnie, he had a shovel draw on. That's what the play was going to be. Quincy Carter sprint to the right. He was going to shovel it underneath. Purdue covered the shovel back and then made the tackle on Quincy Carter. Robert Arnaud was the back that he was trying to get the ball to. He comes out, watch. As he comes out, he's trying to shovel right here to the back. Purdue hasn't played, oh.
That's Dinkins, who had it covered up, and then Mitrione and Hawthorne knocked him out of bounds.
One thing about shovel draw, if it's not there, it's not there. Because there's no alternate other than Quincy Carter running the football. Both these teams traded all game tapes all year, so Purdue, it looks like they've done a good job on tendencies of Georgia.
Brees steps up, drills his pass, complete at the 42-yard line. Randall Lane made the reception. Very close to a first down. Not sure if he quite got it or not.
The unsung heroes of this offense, the offensive line, because they do such a good job of protecting Drew Brees. He does such a good job of getting rid of the ball fast. The cut blocks at the line of scrimmage. On every pass pattern, Ron, there's a short pass receiver. If Drew Brees knows he's got pressure, he knows where to throw the football so that he doesn't take a sack. But this offensive line has done a very good job on Stroud and Seymour, the two inside defensive tackles.
It was enough for the first down as Brees sacked again. Second time in the ball game. This time it's Evans, and that's a coverage sack. Probably a good thing he didn't throw it. There were three men around Sutherland deep.
He was going for the home run, and that's why he didn't go to Vinny Sutherland. That's why the sack occurred, because he had one deep route to Vinny Sutherland and drew the ball back in and didn't throw the ball. Took the sack.
So interesting, we mentioned only 12 sacks the entire year, and Georgia's gotten to him twice today.
And this is another reason, Ron. 3-step drops, 10 out of 12. He's only taken 5 steps 4 times. So he throws quick.
From the shotgun, this is what Mike's talking about. Number 1 wasn't there. Number 2 was there, and he fumbled the football, and they say it's incomplete. That's Stratton, the tight end, as Mann came up and made the hit on him.
That's what you have to do against Purdue. You've got to make them pay. If they complete the 5 or 6 or 7 yard pass, you got to trade a headache with the 5 yards, and you got to come up and make the tackle. No big plays. Yards after the catch is important against Purdue. They've had them in long yardage situations before. They just haven't been able to stop them.
They're perfect on third down conversions. Got to take this one down to the Georgia 48-yard line. 19-0. Purdue leads it. Early going to the second quarter. Brees lobs it for the tight end. Stratton incomplete.
Good job by Georgia's defense, Ron.
Brees really upset with himself, and he's been almost perfect for the ball game, but he's coming over beating himself up a little bit right now.
Yeah, Georgia did a nice job defensively. Credit Kevin Ramsey, Joe Kynes for some adjustments here, and now their offense. Quincy Carter's got to take over.
I think if Brees had that one to do over again, the guy who was coming back to help him was Chris James. Deep over on the right side.
Ron, Kendall Bell, number 37, has blocked 4 kicks this year. They're offsides again.
Beautiful high coverage kick. Pass all the way back to the 11. Pass is going to be around the 27. Flag is down for the offsides against Georgia. Now let me ask you the question.
I'd take the penalty and punt again.
Would you? 52 yards, 16 on the return.
I still think they can get better field position.
Vieira is the one who jumped offside.
I think that's the question. Joe Kynes is going to, or Joe Tiller. Because of the return, I think I'd punt it again. Good return by pass.
Well,
let's see if it pays off, Ron, because they got the ball at the 28. Let's see if they can knock them inside the 20.
Well, the other difficult thing is the deep man is looking. He's looking into a high sky.
Right.
Looking into the sun.
If he wouldn't have had the return he had, I think Joe Tiller would have turned this penalty down. But he'll kick it again.
Danny Rogers, senior out of Sanibel, Florida, prepares to punt for Purdue. First time we've seen him this afternoon, as the Bulldogs have not had to punt the football. They've been perfect on third down conversions.
center moved the football there.
Pass on the run from the 19 this time. Breaks it. And is going to be tackled by Rogers, the punter. And now here comes a late flag from way downfield.
They all threw their flags on this one.
39 yards in the punt, 33 on the return.
It might be on Andy Staniford, number 80, for piling on. Got the offside first. Now, whether the center moved the football or not, that's going to be the question. I think the center, Ron, just looking at the replay a little bit, was moving, and now that's the question. Dropped his
fouls on the play. Had an offside penalty on the defense. We have a dead ball, personal foul on the kicking team. Both penalties will be enforced. Previous spots.
So let's go to the line of scrimmage, move it 5 yards forward, and then 10 or 15 yards back.
Here's the center, Ron. Watch it as he moves, and that gets the Georgia player.
Staniford.
Staniford's the snapper. Johnny Brown, number 49, jumps, and then you get the piling on. So we're going to do it again.
Michael Greer has come on following 2 straight returns by Patrick Pass. Now they've elected to send Greer back in there as the deep guy. Line drive spiral. Caught at the 18-yard line. Loses the ball, and at the 32-yard line, Purdue says they have it, and so do the officials. 49 yards in the kick, 13 on the return, and all I can say is keep Jim Donnan away from sharp objects. He's got to be pulling his hair out across the way. Let's take a break. 10:48 left until halftime. 19-0 Purdue, and Georgia has just turned it over.
Ron, something I don't understand. You know, you got punt returners. Patrick Pass returned 2 punts, but he's a young guy. You'd like to stay on the field and return the 3rd one. Michael Greer replaces him and fumbles the football.
So Brees, with great field position, pumps it once, wide open on the sideline. Chris James, and he will score. 32 yards.
That's exactly what happens when a team has a turnover. They're vulnerable for a big play. Purdue comes right back, gets the ball to Chris James, makes a pay. It's a football team in shock, making a lot of mistakes, a lot of offsides, fumble.
Nothing with the missed extra point and the missed 2-point try. Brees and company will go for 2, and somebody's not out there. It's Lowe. Montreal Lowe had to come back out. Now Brees going to have to take a timeout.
Patrick Pass returned 2 punts, and then must have got tired. And then they replace him and bring in Michael Greer. He fumbles the football. Usually a sure-handed receiver. And then Purdue makes him pay again.
Now there's a look at pass. And, you know, Mike, after he had made the first return, he bent over and had his hands on his knees and was staring at the ground. And I wondered then if he was 100%. Then he had the long return, and that's when they chose to make the change and bring Greer in there. But I wonder if even before the long return, if something...
Yeah, unless he's sick, Ron, you know, that's like a running back going in running 3 or 4 plays, or a pass receiver staying in for 4 or 5 long passes to stay in. There's Michael Greer. Just gets bumped around. It doesn't have the ball clutched in. Purdue recovers the football, then comes right back through Brees. Chris James, and you can see again, not very good tackling in the secondary. They didn't break down. Larry Mann overran it. Chris James in the end zone for the touchdown.
So here they go with the 2-point conversion drive. And the screen to Sutherland, and he dropped the football. And didn't really matter because Wansley was there. He was going to make the tackle. So, 2 2-point tries have gone awry to this field goal, or this extra point. Now let's take a break. 25-0. Purdue on top. 10:38 remaining until halftime.
Hey, you made it.
Relax. She's looking at your beer.
He knew that.
Bolder, richer, creamier. Killian's Irish Red. One look says a lot.
Get up, get down. Hang loose. Outback in the sun.
You know that little voice in your head makes you feel guilty for having too much of a good thing? Yeah, we don't either.
Outback Steakhouse, no roads, just right.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Dodge Dakota brings you a startling new advancement. Doors, great big ones, on the driver's side. And the passenger side, each with windows that go all the way down. So what's the big deal about 2 great big wide opening doors? Nothing. But 4 is a different story. Real truck, real doors. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Different.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of the 2000 Outback Bowl is presented by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. And in part by Dodge. Do not follow, do not conform. Be different. Well, if you're not from this part of the world, that's the University of Tampa campus. There's a very, very pretty complex. Not too far from here. Hey, what seems like every year we come down here to do this bowl game, Tampa has some outstanding weather, don't they?
Beautiful.
Well, Patrick Pass was in there, but Adrian Karsten's on the sideline, and Adrian, he was a little ill, wasn't he?
Brave young man, Ron. No surprise, both you and I, because you know what this is like. The flu started working its way through the Georgia football team this morning, and well, we got a rather graphic example of that from Patrick Pass before. Yeah, when you return 2 punts in a row, you're going to be tired, but he actually had an upset stomach over here on the sidelines. Now, there are not a lot of other guys in the starting rotation who have suffered from the flu so far this morning, but we also know how quickly this whole thing can move, so it might make a difference in the second half.
Yeah. Okay, nice job, Adrian. Yeah, we thought we saw him with his hands on his knees like he was not well. This is Sanks, and Jasper is going to be tackled as soon as he gets the football. Odom makes the stop.
They're going to need Patrick Pass in this ball game because they can't get a running game going right now. Jasper Sanks came into this ball game averaging 5.1 yards per carry. They haven't been able to run against this Purdue football team.
Georgia. Pass is overthrown, and there's a flag back over here on the near sideline. And if I'm not mistaken, that positive yardage rushing was by Quincy Carter.
Offside defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay second down.
Georgia looks lethargic, Ron. They just not moving around. Need somebody to the orchestra leader, Quincy Carter, to get something going, get a big play, get this Georgia team and get them back in this football game. Quincy Carter very capable.
No question about that. He can make it happen rapidly. He's got to get everybody on the right page. He does the pitch reverse. This is Edwards. Gets a block and he's loose. Edwards the 50. Edwards the 30. 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, 74 yards. Terrence Edwards.
That's what they need. Right there, a big play to get them back in this football game. Quincy Carter with a good fake. The reverse to Terrence Edwards, former high school quarterback, shows you great speed getting in the end zone.
There also makes the point of Jim Donnan to spread out the Purdue defense, because as far as speed and quickness, Georgia has the edge in both of those categories. But Purdue has done a great job of keeping them bunched up until that play there.
Very good call by Jim Donnan.
Kick is up and it's good. And Georgia Bulldogs finally awaken offensively. 9:39 left until halftime, and our new score is Purdue 25 and Georgia 7 as Edward goes 74 yards for the touchdown.
Did you ever think of fight on short notice?
How short? For $100,000.
We want a guaranteed title shot in the contract.
Could you knock out your best friend?
Why are you guys fighting?
Well, because they pay us.
Woody Harrelson, Antonio Banderas.
Kiss mine. I might do that. You know, because ever since you shave your head, you look so pretty.
Play it to the bone.
I just don't like you.
Knockout. That's incredible.
I don't like you either.
Rated R. Starts Friday, January 14th.
You guys are... Hey, you made it.
Relax. She's looking at your beer.
He knew that.
Bolder, richer, creamier. Killian's Irish Red. One look says a lot.
Well, when I got hurt in this work, I thought I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that?
Aflac. Well, even best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does it?
Aflac. Shouldn't ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called?
Aflac!
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Aflac.
Number 1 Florida State takes on number 2 Virginia Tech for the national championship. The Nokia Sugar Bowl, January 4th.
Purdue 25-7 run, and a big play. Now the defense has got to come on for Georgia. Georgia hit him with a reverse. Terrence Edwards, and you can see the good blocking downfield by the Georgia offensive line. John Stinchcomb was the redshirt freshman tackle. Number 78's out there. Number 86, Randy McMichael. And Edwards takes it for the touchdown. Now, Georgia special teams and the defense got to stop Drew Brees.
Coleman's kick is going to be picked up by Stratton. Lockheed, one of the reserve tight ends, and he'll take it out close to the 35-yard line. Now the touchdown, and let's see if that puts a little spark in this Georgia defense, and if they can put the clamps on Drew Brees and company.
And get the ball back a lot of time. 9:31 still left in this in this quarter. So a lot of football to be played if Georgia's defense can slow down Drew Brees. I think you can count the times they've hit Drew Brees on your hand.
They do have the 2 sacks, but that is about the only time they touched it today. You're right. Straight ahead with the running play, and that's Brown. And Cedric's going to take it to around the 38. Evans and Bell making the stop. Also, remember in the second half, Dustin Lucky can come back to the ball game. Having to sit out the half. There's the fight against Georgia Tech. Set out the second half of that one, the first half of this one. So there he is right there, and he is the regular at that defensive end spot. So that might bring a spark to them as well.
Give them a little more depth defensively.
Brees goes under center, and he's got an empty backfield, as you can see. Nobody behind him. Batted down at the line of scrimmage. Seymour. Richard Seymour got a hand up. The big junior out of Gadsden, South Carolina.
Yeah, he's a captain of this defensive football team and captain for the entire football team. Richard Seymour, Kevin Ramsey told me can be an All-American. He needs to come back. He's a junior defensive lineman. A lot of people talked about him coming out, but he'll be a dominant player next year in college football.
Third down, and Purdue needs to take it out to the 45-yard line. Brees out in the flat. That is Brown. Loses the football and recovered by Georgia. Around his Grant.
One play can turn a ball game completely around. The reverse, then Jamie Henderson with the hit causes the fumble. Now Georgia has great field position. Drew Brees trying to throw the ball in the backfield. Got a back loose. Cedric Brown coming out of the backfield. Jamie Henderson with a hit. And now Georgia in business.
The interesting thing about Brown on that play, he knew he was going down. He could see another player coming. Well, he should have protected the football, kept only one hand on it, and lost it. Georgia with a wonderful opportunity from the 34-yard line. Patrick Pass hurdles one man at the line of scrimmage. Will take it to the 29. Ball is loose, and Purdue says they have it, but the officials say no, as Willie Fells made the tackle.
Georgia felt they had the advantage, Ron, with speed as Patrick Pass playing with effort. Adrian Carson saying he's sick today.
Arnott comes into the backfield, number 30, and joins tailback Patrick Pass. Second down for the Bulldogs. They need to take it to the 24-yard line. Big steps back to Pass, gets a block, and will be forced out of bounds well short of the first down. Adrian Beasley made the defensive stop for Purdue.
Jim Donnan now trying to slug it out a little bit with Purdue. Offensively, their passing game has not been crisp in the first half, so turning the ball over to Patrick Pass, running the football behind a big offensive line. They feel like they have the advantage of speed. They're trying to get outside against this Purdue defense.
Georgia with a third down and 3.
Quincy's dangerous running the football.
Going to give it to Pass, though, and he will have, I don't know. It is very, very close.
Ran hard, up inside.
Yes,
Willie
did.
Fells with a tackle, number 40.
Number 40, Felix Wells in on the stop.
Going to go for it anyway. You got Jasper Sanks.
He just gave it to him.
Gave him first down.
Yeah.
Nice drive right here by Georgia. Gets them back in the football game.
25-7. Purdue. The reverse has awakened Georgia. They got the turnover on the fumble just a couple of moments ago. But now they got to do something with it. Sanks, boy, he gets hit with a shoulder-high tackle by Mike Rose and is spun around at the 19.
But that's 5 yards, Ron. They're knocking up in there for 4 and 5 yards running the football. Good sign for Georgia.
Well, the size difference is about 20 pounds per man between the offensive front of Georgia and that defensive front of Purdue. Sanks again, loses the football, and it's recovered by Purdue at the 20-yard line. Hawthorne makes the recovery. Odom knocked it loose.
Joe Odom, the redshirt freshman, started 2 games this year, 31 tackles, makes the hit, and a big hit.
Timeout, 6:27 left until halftime. As you take one more look at the fumble and the recovery by Purdue. We'll be right back.
If you're ready to lose weight, muscle up, and get back into shape, I've got a free video you're going to love.
Introducing a winning fitness strategy.
You got to eat healthy, drink plenty of water, and most importantly, strength train with Bowflex.
Strength training adds muscle. Not only does your shape look better, you actually increase your metabolism, so you end up burning more calories.
Strength training these days isn't just for men. It's great for women, too. And Bowflex is designed for both. It's even been called the best home gym by Fitness Magazine.
Use as little as 5 pounds to more than 400 pounds of resistance. Follow our 6-week fast fat loss program or create your own from over 60 different health club quality exercises.
Bowflex is easy to own, and it fits in any room in your house. It comes with a 6-week guarantee on results, and you can finance it with no money down and payments as low as $33 per month. Hey, I'm 41, and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I can tell you, Bowflex really does work.
For a free video and brochure on the machine that can help you get into great shape at any age, call right now.
Scoring is an art form displayed on the ice for all to see. Both Owen Nolan and Tony Amonte can use their sticks to create masterpieces. Sharks Blackhawks, tomorrow at 8:30, only on ESPN. This is the game.
A new year. The usual suspects. Will Tiger Woods continue his reign, or will one of these marksmen steal the day? The PGA Tour kicks off the 2000 season in prime time with the Mercedes Championships. Coverage begins Thursday at 7 on ESPN.
Your head wouldn't look like that if you didn't drink so much last night. 25-7, Purdue leading in the ballgame. Our Outback trivia question. Purdue's only bowl loss versus Virginia in the 1984 Peach Bowl. Who were the starting quarterbacks? And you know.
I know. I see the answers there, but I'm not going to pretend like I knew.
Jim Everett from Purdue.
Very good quarterback.
Don Mikowski for Virginia. So, our Outback trivia question and answer today.
Well, a big fumble by Georgia. Had a chance to climb back in this game.
Over the running play low. Not much there for him. He might have a half yard, and that's about it. Bieri defensively for Georgia. Clock about to go under 6 minutes. Left until halftime as you look at Jasper Sanks, who turned it over just a moment ago.
And Georgia's defense now has done a better job the last 2 series. And as soon as we say this, Drew Brees is going to start shredding them again a little bit.
They have. They've made some adjustments that have worked very well. Brees got it complete in the flag, and that's Daniels. Daniels avoided the tackler, and with that second effort will have the first down as Robinson finally stopped him.
Against Michigan State, Ron, he had 21 catches for 301 yards. You'd think he'd been tired after that football game. That's about 5 games worth of catches and yards against Michigan State. Had 109 receptions coming into this ball game today.
Well, the people people in West Lafayette are extremely excited that he's coming back. 4 catches for 31 yards and 2 touchdowns for Daniels today. That's incomplete at the 35.
What Purdue does with the offensive line is chop block a lot. They go down for the legs, especially on the 3-step drops, and they keep you from getting your hands up. The offensive line here, they chop, but now the defensive player just played off. Now, he doesn't get much of a rush. That's Richard Seymour. Not much of a rush, but able to get his hands up. So different techniques by the offensive line of Purdue really hurting Georgia.
People who ask about it, we'll talk about it in a moment. Got that one on the flat from the 35-yard line. This is Chris James. And now it's going to be 3rd down, and they'll need about 5. And let's check in with Adrian Karsten. Adrian?
Ron, there is a professional scout in the Midwest who calls this the best offensive line in the nation as far as pass blocking is concerned. Uncharacteristic to other Big Ten teams. What they'll do, well, especially in the shotgun, and then Drew takes a 3-step drop, is to step out, take on the defensive man, as opposed to catching. That is to say, let the defensive line come to you and then hold them off. They do a fantastic job, although, as Mike points out, we haven't seen the chop a lot today. The best that Georgia can do right now is just get their hands up and not get into defense.
16 of 24, 214 yards and 4 touchdowns. I'd say, no, they're not getting to it. Not yet. That's a pretty good ball game, let alone half. Brees got him open right over the middle. The first down to Sutherland. The interesting thing about the chop block, and for everybody who says, well, I thought it was illegal, it is if the man is engaged by somebody else. But if you chop him individually, that is legal.
Yeah, you want to get those hands down. A double in route again by Purdue. They bring Chris Daniels underneath, and that clears it for Vinny Sutherland, who's on the next level. So levels of zone pass plays by Purdue. Jim Chaney doing a nice job calling the game.
About to go under 4 minutes remaining until halftime. Purdue trying to add to that lead. This is low. And then back into the middle, has the first down, plus about 3 more yards. Vieri made the tackle that could have saved a touchdown. And now a late flag is in.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. The gain was sufficient for a first down. It'll be a 1st and 10 after a 15-yard penalty.
College basketball coming up on Wednesday on ESPN. Georgia Tech heads to Kentucky to face the 25th ranked Wildcats at 7 o'clock Eastern. Then at 9 o'clock, Shane Battier, the 8th ranked Duke Blue Devils take it on Virginia. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. So the good news for Purdue fans, they did pick up the first down. The bad news is they just lost 15 yards because of the personal foul.
Top of the screen. I don't know if that's Richard Seymour trying to hold on.
Brees' pass almost threw that one too late. Donald Winston, I'll tell you. Coming up very quickly was Henderson. He was close to getting the interception.
Everything's short, Ron, and you're right. Jamie Henderson coming up quickly, so you figure it's not too long away that he's going to pump fake and try to hit the deep throw on Jamie Henderson. Young secondary for Kevin Ramsey. A lot of short passes by Drew Brees. You've got to be able to make the tackle right away.
Again, it's an empty backfield. Nobody behind Drew Brees. Pressure on Brees. Gonna run it. And he will dive forward for the first down. At the 45-yard line, Bell was there. And let's check in with Brian Kenny. Brian?
Yeah, Ron, coming up at the half on the Dodge halftime report, we'll check in with the guys in New Orleans. Chris Fowler's down there, look at the Hokies and the Seminoles. We've got the big day in the Big Ten versus the SEC like this game here. And we'll also take a look ahead at the Rose Bowl and Stanford injuries. That's on the Dodge halftime report. John Makovic will join me then.
All righty. Our situation, 3 minutes and 10 seconds left until halftime.
Did you see Brian Kenny last night on TV? He looked like he was dressed like the Duke of Earl.
That's how the Duke dresses?
He's the Duke Kenny.
Oh.
He had a scarf and everything.
I know what I was going to ask for the wine list when I saw it. Ninth play of the drive and started back at the 20-yard line. Straight ahead, Lowe puts the head down, and he will have the first down. Actually, Brees didn't have it a moment ago, and Evans will make the stop. Adrian Karsten, what do you have for us?
Ron, need to take you back earlier this year, the Auburn game, the ill-fated Auburn game for Georgia. There was a time in that game, 31-0, and Kevin Ramsey actually began to take some heat because he stuck with man coverage. In fairness to Kevin, I need to say, with four brand new backs, all of whom were practically benched or fired after the Ole Miss game, he continues to stick with what he thinks is going to work best. So far in this game, he likes the man coverage. Mike, you've seen a little bit of zone here, but he has taken a little bit of heat concerning what he did in that Auburn game and is trying to dig himself out of the hole with that with his performance of the defense.
17 first downs for Purdue in this ball game. Brees going to run it. Doing a nice job of coverage, and that was
doing a good job of coverage. And answering Adrian there, Kevin Ramsey's a very good football coach. Coached at Missouri, West Virginia, Tennessee, and now coordinating in Georgia. This football team, I'm telling you, what they jumped off to 6-1 record. They're overrated, really. They're a young football team, and the expectation level is too high for this Georgia football team this year. Now, next year, it rises a little bit. I think Jim Donnan and his staff have done a very good job. But they ended the season 3 out of 4 losses. But sometimes the other team can play well.
Well,
give them credit.
And in this first half, for the most part, Brees has made very few errors. It's been a clinic on how to run this offense, and it's not always pretty. I go back to what the Penn State coaches said. The chop on the outside, they throw a 5-yard completion, you miss a tackle, it turns into 10, 12 yards, and that's how they just drive you crazy. This short pass right here doesn't look like much. It's another first down, almost like a run.
Yeah, and the other thing is to keep your offense on the sideline so that when you come out, you figure you got to score quickly, and you make mistakes.
Get out of bounds, and that's Simpson. A.T. Simpson on the reception, got out of bounds to stop the clock at the 25-yard line. Grant with another tackle. He's been a busy guy. You have to wonder, as his temperature gets up close to 80 degrees, as much as this Georgia defense has had to play and as much running as they've done sideline to sideline, it could affect them in the second half.
Good point.
Well, the line to make is the 22, indicated by the ESPN First and 10, presented by A&D Athlon Processor. This pass out in the flat. Got it to Brown. And Cedric does not fumble this one. He holds on to it and picks up another Purdue first down as Robinson forced him out.
I was talking about Drew Brees, and you're familiar with him from Austin, but when he was a high school quarterback, he completed 211 out of 333 senior year in high school for 63%. 16-0 record, 31 touchdowns, and he just carried it on as he goes into college. He's a super accurate passer.
Clock stopped at 1 minute and 38. Purdue knocking on the door again. Brees got it complete, and then stepping out of bounds, thrown out of bounds. Daniels made the reception, and Henderson was right there.
A lot of walking around by Georgia defensively right now. Richard Seymour complaining about a late kick by Purdue's offensive line. Really upset with the official that he's not calling it.
Purdue breaks the huddle, and Georgia just now spreading out defensively. The ball resting at the 13-yard line. Brees got him open over the middle, and actually 2 receivers wound up right on top of one another, Tolbert and Daniels. And I'm not sure. I think Tolbert is the man that he was trying to throw it to.
And number 9, Robert Tolbert, in the vicinity.
What happens to a defensive lineman, Ron? Richard Seymour's going out of the ball game. You get frustrated because you can't get to the quarterback. Here's Richard Seymour, one of the premier defensive linemen, getting blocked by Matt Light and then getting help from the guard, and then people are pushing him in the face, so he just gets frustrated.
Timeout taken by Purdue. 1:29 remaining until halftime, so we'll take it with them. 25-7. Purdue on top and looking for more.
Not a lot of people know what the SEAL does. I kind of like the idea of that.
You need to get in and, do your job and get out of there, not being seen.
No SEAL gets left behind. Everybody goes home.
You have to be able to persevere and get the job done no matter what. I will not fail.
The kind of people we require, someone who can go hard or go home.
I knew what I came in the Navy to do. I specifically came in to become a Navy SEAL.
When we drafted Tim Duncan, I invited him to my home to get ready for the season. He was learning so much.
That doesn't count. You were out.
The roses are out, Timmy, not the daisies. So one day, you brought this into my home.
It's not something I'm proud of.
I calmly explained how Edge Pro Gel protects better than foam because it has 8 rich lubricants.
David sure know how to make a guy feel comfortable.
More lemonade, Tim?
Edge Pro Gel. Save your skin.
The roses, Tim, are out of bounds.
Go with the gnomes. The gnomes can be out of bounds.
No.
What sets the digital world in motion? TI Programmable DSP, a technology that creates new markets with crystal clear images, new ways to envision the future. And when new generations evolve, rather than retool and replace, you can simply reprogram. Hardware, software, open thinking. It's the driving force of the digital world. From the world leader in DSP and analog, Texas Instruments.
25-7. Purdue leads it. Took a timeout to talk things over.
They've been good once they get inside the 20-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you.
This drive of 15 plays keeps Quincy Carter on the sideline.
There it is right there. 4 of 4 inside the 20.
They're not field goals.
No, the only thing they haven't done well today is extra points. 2-point conversions and extra points. That's the only thing with Purdue that's deflated right now.
Give them a halftime break. A visit to the Outback.
Brees got it away, and it's intercepted. That's Henderson. Brees is the only man who can stop him, and he gets by him, and he fell down. 50 yards on the return. And that is far and away the worst pass he's thrown.
Drew Brees made a mistake, and he was not sure he was going to throw that football and left it go late. They had a double crossing route, shallow cross. Both receivers, they're going to cross. And here's a good coverage right here by Henderson. He's right on the back of the receiver, makes the interception. Drew Brees does a nice job. Chris Daniels was the receiver. Now Georgia again can crawl back in this football game.
So they got 1:16 left. Ball at the Purdue 40-yard line.
And they have all 3 of their timeouts left.
Michael in motion. They haven't thrown to him yet in this ball game. They go to him here, and he makes the reception at the 34. He is a great-looking young tight end. 6'2", 223 pounds, and in fact, if you stand by him, he seems as though looks more like a 6'4" kid than 6'2".
Run good-looking tight ends. And what Georgia has done, or what Purdue has done to Georgia, not allowed them any big plays up to this point. Everything's been short.
Carter got it away and got it complete, and that's to Johnson, the other tight end.
You talk about a gun now. Quincy Carter threw that right in there. Mike Rose, the linebacker, number 4, had good coverage, and I think he was surprised how Quincy Carter threaded the needle.
First down. Purdue tried to put on some pressure. finally came up to put the stop. But when Georgia gets in the open field, whether it's special teams or like this, that is when the difference in speed is very, very evident.
Without a doubt. That was what Jim Donnan was counting on. The speed of his football team, the overall speed of his defense, and his offensive football team. Quincy Carter, such a valuable commodity to this offensive team. He can run the football, and that's what makes him dangerous down here. Still have all 3 timeouts, so they got a lot of time here.
Clock shows 30 seconds. Carter got by him, threw it in the end zone, and he dropped the football. Wow. Nugent was really putting some pressure on him. Michael Greer, I know he was trying to keep his feet in bounds, or at least a foot. He should have caught that football.
Yeah, Michael Greer again. Quincy Carter buying time with his scrambling ability. Purdue putting pressure on, flush him out. David Nugent on his back, but he throws the football. Michael Greer, exactly what you're saying, trying to drag those feet, couldn't hold on to the football.
But on timeout called by Georgia, will take it with him. 22 seconds left until halftime. 25-7, and Georgia is now on the lip of the cup.
Great moments in college sports make great memories and often inspire great achievement beyond the game. Come see it all at the Hall, the new NCAA Hall of Champions, a place to relive the action, savor the memories, discover what it means to be a true champion, and that might be the greatest moment sports has ever produced. The NCAA Hall of Champions, opening in downtown Indianapolis in March 2000.
Well, there's a look at 6. Hug a 6. You remember we were doing a game in Georgia when 5 retired and 6 came in. Purdue fans on their feet. Georgia fans on their feet. Situation. 22 seconds left until halftime. Ball sits at the 10-yard line, and it is second down for the Georgia Bulldogs.
They got 86. Number 86, Randy McMichael in the slot. Now he's going to be against the linebacker.
Well, everybody's pointing at everybody else. Purdue saying it's against Georgia, and of course Georgia saying you did it.
Second and goal, it won't hurt Georgia. Gives them a little more room if it's on them.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and then second down.
4 of the Georgia penalties have come against the line for defensive line for offside, or in this case right here, a false start. Purdue players beckoning their fans to get up.
Third receiver in is McMichael.
Lots of time. It's who he goes to right up the middle, and he couldn't hold on. Fells with the cover. McMichael asking for interference, but he probably should have grabbed that football.
Yeah, what you have there is what the matchup that Jim Donnan wants. You get the big tight end, 6'3", 223 on Willie Fells, the linebacker. And he just tries to run a circle route. Not a very good route. Fells shuts him off.
Well, in McMichael's defense, actually that ball was just a little bit higher than I thought it was. 18 seconds remaining. It is third down and goal. Over the middle, couldn't hold on. Hawthorne with the hit on Edwards.
They had 2 plays where they had exactly what they wanted. They had Terrence Edwards into the short side of the field, got him on the post. A little high on the football, but he should have been able to bring that in.
So Jim Donnan does not want to leave this part of the field without points. Field goal team has come on. Here's the hit on Terrence Edwards.
And he was up there trying to get that football, trying to concentrate and make the catch. Took a tough hit, but it looks like he's all right. Very good high school football player out of the state of Georgia. Washington County High School.
Half Hines to attempt the field goal. And it looks as though they're going to put this one down at around the 22 or the 23-yard line. of 19 for half this year. We'll see officially 32 yards.
Ron, I think they're going to adjust the clock, though, because the clock didn't run during that last play. They've taken 5 seconds off the clock. Clock operator was watching the play.
Good snap. Low kick. And he got it. Aesthetically, it was not a thing of beauty, but it went through the uprights. And Georgia puts on their 10th point of the second quarter and trying to work their way back into the ballgame. Now down by 15. And while we got a second, let's check in with Adrian.
Tom, thanks very much. You know, there really is a feeling among players and coaches in college football. If you're not involved in the bowl championship series, this is the bowl you want to come to. I'm with Chris Sullivan, who is in this bowl again for, well, yeah, opened Outback Steakhouse's 80th back in 1987, so 12 years ago, bridging the Hall of Fame bowl, but you've done a fantastic job. 2 Heisman Trophy candidates in this game.
Well, this is just great for us, and Outback Bowl, having Drew Brees here and Quincy Carter. They're just great athletes, and they're putting on a real show here, and we're excited about it. And to have this game every year in Tampa, and for Outback to be involved with it, it's been great for everybody associated with Outback. And I just want to thank everybody at Outback for all the great things they've done this year and giving us the opportunity to sponsor this game.
Big Ten kind of putting death to the adage that the big old tractor drivers can't come down south and knock up on the SEC.
Well, this Drew Brees is so accurate, and his receivers are just doing a great job, and it's great to see a local kid here, Chris James, and catch a touchdown pass, and Purdue's just doing a great job. And the Big Ten plays great football, but we're lucky to have both great conferences. The SEC is so competitive, but looks like right now it's going to be Big Ten 2 years in a row.
Ron, why don't Outback Steakhouses open until 4 p.m.? Because Chris and his 2 pals who founded this 12 years ago like to play golf until 4 o'clock, which I have great respect for.
Okay, Adrian. Now, you got to share those passes you just got to that Appleton Steakhouse up in Wisconsin. You are going to do that, I know.
Don't count Georgia out too quick. Everybody's
I'm not counting them out.
No, and I know you're not.
I'm just saying they slumbered for a long time, and now they finally
the
awaken.
Outback, they're very much alive in this football game. They've shut down. They've done a nice job defensively. They haven't shut them down, but they're getting turnovers on Purdue. And I'm sure Jim Chaney and Joe Tiller are going to go in the locker room and see if they can't fine-tune their offense.
Dead ball, personal foul on the receiving team. It'll be half the distance to the goal and a first down.
A lot of penalties in the first half. A lot of talking going on.
12.5-yard line is where they'll put it down. Joe, I'm sure, is not real pleased about that, and got the name of the guilty party, and that young person will be talked to at halftime, I'm sure. I think you could look for Brees to just take a knee right here, and then they'll head to the locker room. Yep, that's what they'll do. 6 seconds down to 5. And as they head to the locker room.